from your point of view, where did Olivia and John Henry stand?
I don't know. I mean, they were hanging out for sure.
Were you friends with her at the time,
No.
or was it just more like
No,
okay.
I was going through my own obviously things. So like the main people I was leaning on were my girls, like Kylie, Jess, Mercedes, even sometimes Rachel and stuff. Even a lot of the boys were like my friends and people are like Blake was one of my confidants that I would like talk through things with, but Olivia was never really one of them because there was just some things that were said about other women that like rubbed me the wrong way. So I never really felt comfortable having a friendship with her, like on a personal level. So I never really had any idea of like where her relationship stood. But if there was one person on the beach that I definitely did not have even like an actual friendship, it was Olivia. So
who were her friends?
She was friends with, she hung out a lot with Eliza. That was her like closest friend, okay. I would say. Yeah.
Okay. So then when you start like flirting and talking to John Henry, is he just kind of just going back? Does he bring up Olivia or where he's at in that relationship at all?
I think I asked him at some point and he was like just saying, yeah, we've been getting to know each other and I like hanging out with her, but like he was still, I think, open to just like getting to know each other. And in those initial moments, it was about I was just like really intrigued by him and like I felt like a weird like attraction. So it was very like just a friendship and we had became friends over the few days that he's been on the beach. So I wasn't like, okay, I'm talking to you because we're going to date tomorrow and like you're going to be the person I like. It was just like, no, and he's very easy on the eyes. So he's really fun to talk to and like hang out with and just look at in general. I remember I would forget what he says because he would just like talk to me and I couldn't hear him because he's so attractive. But
I think you said that actually.
It's insane. Like it's never happened to me before. And I was like, what's going on? So there was just like a lot of weird feelings that were coming up, but I was just kind of going with it. I wasn't really like having any intention or expectations or like fantasies. It was just like, you're like really cute and really fun to talk to.
Did you have any concerns about getting to know him with Olivia on the beach and like potential conflict there?
I saw she handled the Kylie situation. So I was like, I've had enough fair share drama. But in general, I never wanted to disrespect her. I never would want to be like in front of somebody that she has feelings for. And I would never be doing that in a purposeful way. But it's kind of hard in periods because we're all around each other. But I know there was multiple times where I'm like, I don't want to be doing this because I know that she still likes him and I would never want to like disrespect somebody. But I was just a little worried on how that was going to be accepted just based on like what I've seen thus far, if that makes sense. You know.
Mm-hmm. And how did it feel when Olivia then, after you're talking to John Henry, and we don't know like the way it comes across to us, you're talking to John Henry and then she finally comes over that night, pulls him and like makes out with him, what looks like to be in front of you or next to you.
That was so fun. That was great. I loved it. Just because I'm not doing it does not mean that she's not doing it. Like, I'm sure it was territorial and disrespectful and blah, blah, all that stuff. But that wasn't going to deter me from, I could tell in that moment that that's not John Henry. Like, that was Olivia. So if that's how you display, how you carry yourself in these moments, that's fair. Not sure. But it's not The Bachelor. So it's not like I'm going to go and be like, can I interrupt you for a second? Like, no, he's a grown man. If he wants to be there, he'll be there. If he doesn't, he won't. It's not just like he can make his own decisions for himself too. So, yeah.
And how, if roles were flipped and you were talking to John Henry first and then Olivia came around, how do you think you would have handled that?
I mean, he was hanging out with me. So like if I was in her position and I saw him talking to another girl after we've formed a connection, that's not for me, I would never say that's the woman's fault. Like I would be like, okay, like you clearly like her. My ego's hurt. I gotta go. Like that would be but that's how I handle it. But I mean, that's not to say that that's like right, but I I just have too much of like an ego and like I wouldn't, I don't think be able to, you know, he can make his own decision. Like he's two people.
I guess that is kind of how you like did handle it though with Tanner.
Yeah.
Like when he went on a date with someone else, you were kind of like, okay, like
my ego's bruised and now go
Correct.
fuck yourself. Which is fair. Yeah, I know.
I'm
I get
very
it.
aware
I
of
get
that.
it.
There's a lot of things I'm not self-aware of, but my ego is one I have learned.